We want to thank everyone for coming to this. We had a meeting a few weeks ago, and we were discussing different topics for the marketing call. And I loosely brought up business partnerships, and Kristi just lit up and was so excited and had just a wealth of knowledge and experience building business partnerships. And I had a little bit and have certainly done some B2B with my gyms in the past, but she's has the experience both as an owner and working at a club. She has the anytime experience. She has this from a like a corporate wellness perspective, and then kind of a local B2B perspective as well. And so we thought this would be super valuable to share this information with you today. From a digital marketing perspective that Keepbooked does for most of you, or many of you anyway, we're always trying to generate as many leads as we can for all the clubs. However, we want to balance lead volume and lead quality, right? And so as we try to improve lead quality, sometimes the volume goes down a little bit. And that's where things like B2B partnerships, referrals, and things like that come in to help drive that other 40% of the leads that are necessary for your clubs into your clubs. So with that being said, I want to jump right into the information because Kristi has a lot to share with everybody. And so I was talking to her last night, and she explained that, there's kind of two different pathways she's taken throughout her experience with this. And so, Kristi, if you don't mind, I'd love to just start. Let's start with kind of the local Running Man reward program that you created. Can you tell us all more about Running Man rewards, kind of how it works, how someone would start, and have at it?
Absolutely. So I think Jason added these two documents to the end of the presentation this morning for me.
Yep.
So if you want to go to the last two, you're going to be able to see those. So this is a program that I have started, I think 2 or 3 different anytimes that was extremely successful. It does take time to start it. However, you're going to have walk-ins coming in like crazy. And, that's what we want. We want continuous visualization. So it's important for digital marketing because people see it. And then it's also important that we also have, local businesses as well. So the way that this works is that you can start a Running Man rewards program. You can call it whatever you want. But what you would do is you would contact local businesses in your community, and you would do a partnership with them, a Running Man rewards partnership. So what I did as being the club manager, I had to do this because this was the way that I was going to get an influx of leads within my community all the time. Okay, so what I would do is I basically would call the company that I was going to go visit to make sure that a decision maker was there, so I didn't waste my time. So I did do that first. If there was a manager there, then I would ask them, do you have direct access to give something to the owner? So then I had the first sheet that explained what our Running Man Rewards program was. And what that is a partnership to where we are going to be driving leads into their business. And in return, they're going to be giving our members a discount. So like the first page, like kind of explains what it is, which I'm sure can be spiced up now with Chat GPT. But the second page, is what we would do as we would get a Running Man rewards partners is we would get permission, number one, for their logo. We would put their logo and announce them as a new Running Man rewards partner on Facebook, Instagram, and we would recognize that company and let the members know that they're getting a discount at that location. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I'm curious, Kristi, I see Dairy Queen 15% off each purchase, Marco's Pizza 10% off. Did you suggest 10% off to them, or is this something they said, like they came up with the offer for you?
They're the ones that came up with the offer for us. So they're the ones that determined what they wanted to give. And, in return, ours was that, also in closing a membership, I showed them the second sheet as well, along, so I never had objections with money because they were saving. At my second location, I think I had 30 Running Man Rewards partners, and it was all local places that people went to. So the owners make the decision of the other business, and then what we do is we support them as well.
Brilliant. And when a member was signing up, you would show them that sheet. Would you give them a copy of that, like in a new member folder, if you will, or something like that? Or did you have it posted around the clubs? Tell us more about how you marketed it, the discount to your members.
Both ways, Kyle. So as I was closing a membership, right before I presented rates, I would slide this sheet and I would be like, by being a member of our Anytime Fitness, you get a discount at all these locations, which I'm sure that you go to. And so therefore that sets your membership costs or training costs as well. So it was easy to close membership and get a ton of PT clients.
Awesome. Now I'm curious. This is impressive. I would encourage everyone to start this ASAP in our ever evolving ecosystem of fitness clubs. It's harder and harder to compete against the low price, high value competition like Crunch and Planet. And this is one of the things that I doubt they're ever going to do. Right. And so this can help set you apart. I'm curious, how long did it take you when you first decided, hey, I'm going to start reaching out to businesses and try to set up a Running Man reward program? How long did it take you to get like your first 10 business partnerships, if you would?
So I would say for the first 10, it probably took me maybe 6 weeks.
Okay. Awesome.
But what I did is I kept this in my car. So, when I went to places that in the community that I was going to anyway, then I just whipped it out. So as I was picking up a Marco's Pizza, I would also have them in the car as well. If I did not have a designated time set aside for, doing this during the day, because I was already going in there. So it was just easy. It was,
Yeah, absolutely. And then what type of discount, like you just mentioned Marco's, what type of discount would their employees or ownership get at Anytime Fitness in return for this?
Okay, so depending on the owner, what's a great idea is if it is where you're going to get a lot of volume with Marco's Pizza, they put our flyers on their pizza boxes. So we gave the owner a free membership and their staff a discount. So
Awesome.
so also in the trade-off, whenever we did like a 6-week challenge or anything else, we would put it on the pizza box. I know, kind of funny, huh? Like you're getting ready
Yeah.
to eat pizza and you look and you're like, oh, maybe I need to go to the gym.
Okay, awesome. And then I'm just going to pick on a few of these others because I'm genuinely curious. Like the spa, how did you handle that? Obviously, they're not selling pizza, right? So did you give a discount to just their employees? Tell me more about what you did with the spa.
Okay, so with the spa, it was the owner, again, who had a free membership and the
Okay,
staff had a discounted membership. So what
brilliant.
the
Okay.
spa did, well, actually not necessarily this Simply Flawless one, but my second location, I had a nail place that's not on here. This
Mhm.
location is Monroe, and then I also did Springboro. But with Springboro, they gave, I think it was if you spent $50 in the nail salon, they gave you 10%. If you spent $100, you got 20. And the women absolutely love this. They were so excited to see this partnership because this was, a place they go to. And anybody that gets their nails done, you're at the nail salon at least, every 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay, awesome. And then I would be curious for the owners on this call listening. I can see on the document on the left that at the time it looks like you were the personal training manager.
Mhm.
Uh, can you tell the owners listening, like, who would be the best person, whether it's themselves, the owner, the club manager, the personal training manager, like who would you recommend as the person going out and trying to set up these Running Man reward partnerships?
It's extremely important that you have someone that is going to do it, number one, that is excited to do it, that has the verbiage and the skills to make sure that they can make that relationship possible. Because I was a former gym owner, like that's where it was easy for me. It may not be easy for other managers, and they may be, be a little bit shy about that. But, you know, yourself as an owner should do it. And then if you want to train somebody, take them with you and show them how to do it. And the more staff you have that, hey, they may know, your trainers may know business owners, things like that. The more that you get your staff excited about this, the more that they see that they're going to make more commission. If they're commission based, they're going to be on board.
Brilliant. Okay. And I wrote down the question last night. Did you have time to do Running Man rewards, or did you make time to do Running Man rewards? I know the answer, but I think it's important to talk about.
I made time. So if I didn't have time inside the business, like I said, I had these in my car. So I knew I was going to go to different places as well. Like Hallmark actually was one of the stores I had. I had GNC as well. You can do like a yogurt place, you can do anything. We had Dorothy Lane Market. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. But I made time, and the easiest way for me was to have it in my car. I was the general manager when I was doing this.
Okay.
Uh, but I'd been the previous owner, so that's a little bit different. You want to make sure that person is trained because you don't want to lose that lead due to somebody not being confident enough and excited enough to like get that partnership together. You definitely have to be excited about working with the other company.
Okay. Perfect. Um, I know there's a lot of owners that work with Mastermind that have multiple locations and they're not in each location, on a day-to-day basis. So with that being said, they're going to have to rely on a regional manager or a club manager to do some of these things. I would assume there's a fair amount of autonomy they're going to have to give that manager to make some decisions, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about if an owner's on this call and they're thinking, man, I don't really live near some of my clubs. I'm going to have my managers do this. What would they need to know? Like, give us some examples of, probably they're going to have the autonomy to give a free membership to a business owner to get a Running Man reward partnership. They may need the autonomy to obviously give discounts to their employees or to their customers. Can you tell us a little bit more just about, this is a give and a get type of situation, right? And so
Right.
this isn't going to work if owners aren't willing to give a little bit to get a partnership. Tell us a little bit more about what you had to give or what you would recommend an owner give their manager the ability to do.
Okay, so what I did, I'm very big at communication and I don't like making mistakes. So with my ownership group, I had, a list of 5 target places that was going to hit either that week or that month. And I would run it by my owner. Like, is it okay if I give them this before it was offered?
Okay, perfect. That I like that. That's good communication. Everyone's transparent. Everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And real quick in the chat, Jen had a question. Were you able to quantify the benefit back to the business, such as number of walk-ins per month from the RMR partners? They were just curious.
Okay, so with this and with the next thing we're going to talk about, I can tell you that I took a club that was going bankrupt and it was ranked 2,263 to 214 ranked in 16 months.
And at the same time, Kristi, were you guys spending a lot on digital marketing as well, or was
Like
this your main
114.
lead source?
Oh no. Well, it was both. I mean, it's really
Both.
important.
Okay.
Yes, because you want, you've got your people that can go into Marco's Pizza and they may see a flyer hanging there, which you should have one in there. And then, from that, you want to make sure that you have digital leads going on because everybody is at home scrolling through Facebook or Instagram at night, and then they see the name again. So it's important that we are as visual with our anytime fitness businesses as possible, because the more they see the name, something's going to click. Something's going to click. So they have to see it. If they see it in the grocery store and then they go to the nail salon and they see it there, and then they go, and then they're scrolling through Facebook and they see the 6-week challenge. Hey, you're going to get very qualified lead there because, they saw these flyers everywhere. And so they've already kind of made a decision that they want to join the gym when they come in versus just clicking on a Facebook lead that they just want to find out about. Like they're ready. They're easy to sell to. And I was swamped with walk-in and loved it.
No, that's awesome, Kristi. I think what Jen was referring to was the benefit back to the business that you partner with. Like, are they seeing
Oh, okay.
from their
Okay.
perspective, like more
Yeah.
months, so that you could talk to that right there?
Yeah. So I made sure that I got in touch with our Running Man Rewards partners once a month. That I called the owners and say, hey, is this working for you? Like, how are we doing? And they were so excited. They had so many people that were coming in that were new, that they hadn't seen before. They had an influx in their business as well. I don't know what their return really was like per company, but I can say that everyone was extremely happy doing this, and they told other business owners in the community as well. So I went through the Chamber of Commerce and, that way too.
Awesome. Thanks for that answer. Hope that answers
Yeah.
your question, Jim.
Yeah. That's a good point. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's the day-to-day, the weekly, or the monthly kind of busy work that needs to be done? One thing, obviously, is you reached out to every partner monthly. I thought that's a really good thing to share. Was there any other kind of busy work that would be necessary to keep this program going and keep it active?
Utilizing your sales. Like that's what's huge. Like if you're going to do a 6-week challenge, you need to reach out to these people because they've already agreed to let you put flyers in there. So you can do a little thing, and I always put things, I know we had great clips and stuff like that too, but I always put it by their cash register. So when people were paying, they could see it. You can also
Perfect.
put a QR code there on that as well, and have them go ahead and schedule.
I love it. Okay, out of respect for time, Kristi, because I want to leave some time at the end for, I think everyone, I hope, has questions for you as well. So I want to transition to kind of the second part of this, if you will, and that's your corporate wellness program. So first, just start, let's tell us a little bit more about what you consider a corporate wellness program. And then kind of my first question to follow up that would be, how do you identify what companies to target and to start a corporate wellness program with?
Okay, so a corporate wellness program is a larger company. Like I would say someone that has, over 100 employees that way. And, why this is so important is because I don't know if you realize, but different larger corporations like this, they are offering a gym membership at a discount or promoting some sort of healthy, wellness type of activity. A lot of the businesses get discounts on their insurance rates. So I'm talking like corporates, like they get, like their Anthem insurance goes down because they're offering it. So this may be some of your, you know, people that do have like get a free membership. But if you're not networking with the larger companies, how are you going to get the training from those people? This is like really important.
Brilliant. Okay. And can you give us some examples? Let's just start with one example of a corporate wellness program. If you tell us what the company was, like roughly how big it was, what the program is you set up at that specific company. Let's start there.
Okay, so I can do two different ones because I want to talk about LexisNexis, which has, I think, 3,000 some employees. They are about within, I would say, an 8-mile radius from the gym where I was managing. What I did there is I contacted the HR and, you know, that way because well, I went to visit. So when I went to visit, I found out the HR's name and then there's a gatekeeper. So you want to find out as much information as possible. So I just stopped by, got that HR's business card. Like I didn't email them first. I didn't call them first. I just stopped by and was like, hey, is it possible if I can speak to your HR? I would love to invite your company to have a discount at Anytime Fitness. And they were like, the desk person wants, the membership. So they're willing to give out the information at that point to where they may not over the phone and your
Yep.
email can get lost. So my first step would be to gather the information. Then the second part, I contacted the HR. She was really excited. So again, when you're speaking to them, I feel like it's important with corporates, owners, you need to be doing this. You have to do this. Like this is huge. So when you have, this, it's important to talk to the HR to explain, your insurance company may be giving discounts. This is what we want to do for you. We want to highlight LexisNexis. We want to have a LexisNexis month. So during the month of February, we're going to honor LexisNexis. And what we're going to do is during that month, any LexisNexis employee that comes in is going to get a discounted membership rate and 2 free weeks of training. And, and then we highlighted it, like we put like welcome LexisNexis employees, like with flyers. We, also put that on Facebook as well. And then what the HR did in return is she put it in their newsletter and anybody new that came into LexisNexis during their employee onboarding, she told them about the gym. And then they would come over. So, you can set that up however you want. I know that, some companies can do a payroll deduct. I've had both. I've had a payroll deduct and I've also had them just pay straight. I can tell you it's much easier if they just pay straight because when people leave, let's say they get fired from LexisNexis. I mean, there's no way to kind of know. Like
Yeah.
they don't, so that's why we just ran it through the business like they were a regular member, just as a discounted rate. And
Okay,
they had
brilliant.
to show proof, that they were an employee. So they either had to show, the top of the paycheck stub, something, not the whole paycheck stub, but
Yes.
just something.
Okay. And I recall last night when we talked, you had kind of a strategy. You maybe in the beginning struggled a little bit with some of these corporate wellness programs, like to try to get a hold of the HR director. And over time, you found there was a kind of a specific maybe day in the week or time of the day that was best to reach out to the HR director.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're already, kind of made that initial contact with the gatekeeper or the front desk person and you have that, Your best times to get in touch with an HR are not on Mondays because they have meetings all day long on Mondays. On Tuesdays is a hot time. They are, usually available then. And, it's usually after lunch. So I made it kind of like I found that, they got back maybe at lunch at 1. That wasn't a good time. So I started doing from 1:30 until around 4:30. And then have that window open on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't bother them on a Friday. And if you find out their hours, that last hour and a half is really hard on an HR because everybody's coming in and complaining about something that happened HR related at the end of the day. So you kind of don't, want to stay away from them if you want to get in touch with them.
Perfect. Now, I would assume, and maybe I'm assuming incorrectly, maybe you've had nothing but success. But if you can recall, for every 10 companies, like larger corporations like this, you talk to about a wellness program, give us an idea of what % out of 10 that you had success with.
Oh, out of the 10, I would say 9 out of 10. I can only
So
think of
9
one.
out of 10 you approached did some type of wellness program with you?
Yeah, I can only actually think of one person that didn't. And then at that point, I had a lot of people coming in the gym. So I slowed down.
Okay.
The biggest thing that you want to do is you don't want to hit up large companies at once. They've got to feel special. So you want to select one that is your hottest lead, that is, people that's closest to you, that has the largest amount of employees. I'll tell you what, manufacturing companies, they need us. The people, the way they stand, the way that they're doing repetitive motion all day, like their bodies, it's like they need it bad. So, I would start there by looking at volume and who you can help, which that's what, our values are for Anytime Fitness.
Okay, well, I love that. And you shocked me with the 9 out of 10. I was guessing it would have maybe been like, oh, I got 4 out of 10 to talk to me and to develop some type of program. So that's amazing. And more validation as to why people should do this, right? Talk to me about, we talked a little bit last night about, should they be going in, inside the business, and doing sales like in their company or in their break room or at a health fair? Is that a good idea, or should you just wait for all their employees to come to you?
Oh, no. Like I set up, so when I got Dorothy, I wasn't allowed in LexisNexis. So that was
Okay.
impossible. They do not let people do like inside sales there, but that was okay. Like we still got a lot of people from them, and it
Yep.
was great. And, with the training, but I did go on site with Dorothy Lane Market. So what they did is, in their staff meetings that they have, in their newsletters, they announced a time and I gave it a month. So I planned that a month ahead. That way it was repetitive in their staff meetings for a whole month. They had the ability to see it on the break room wall. I had a flyer by their clock in and clock out and what day I was going to be there. So I went in and I did the morning shift. So I went in, I think, from 8 to 10. And then I came back for the evening shift. And I signed up people on site. So I
Brilliant.
handed them their key fobs right there, had them go over and swipe them. So, yeah.
Okay. And I've done this part, and we actually brought our eBolt scanner to the business. That worked really, really well. It seemed to be a value add to their HR director that we could scan and give them results right there. So anyone who's going on site, you could always pack up the eBolt and bring that with as well. I'm curious if
Second question from the chat.
yes, sir.
They were saying, Kristi, did you set these up through healthy contributions, or were these agreements set into place between your franchise and the company directly?
It was between the franchise and the company directly.
And to elaborate on that, Healthy Contributions does now have kind of a corporate wellness asset management process, if you will. I piloted it with them where some of these corporate deals, a good example of where it could get kind of over your head at the club level would be if they have employees that are using 15 different anytimes around the area. Then it can be a harder deal to manage just for one club. So that's where I would suggest pulling Healthy Contributions in. They can distribute out funds to other anytimes in the event that a company is paying for their employees' memberships. If it's just a discount, then I would just encourage everyone, obviously contact your neighboring anytimes and see if they would honor that same discount as well, so that you could put more locations that are available to honor that discount. But if you do luck out, which happens sometimes, where a company will just offer to pay in full for their employees' memberships, that gets a little dicey if they're using other anytimes. So, sorry, go ahead, Kristi.
No, I agreed with you.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Healthy Contributions, I would say the only negative of the Healthy Contributions from that I've seen is there's like a management fee to do that. So they either charge that company or your club a fee to manage their wellness program, if you will. So I would encourage anyone who's interested or finds themselves in a position like I did. I had an oil refinery where they were paying for 30 of their firefighters memberships, but they were using like 10 or 12 different anytimes. So I was having to write checks and send them to anytimes every time they renewed. It just got out of control, and Health Contributions really helped me with that.
Yeah.
Kristi, if I'm an HR director or I'm someone at a big corporation like this, and I say, hey, what's in this for me? How does this help our employees? How do you answer that question?
This is going to help your employees because you're going to have less insurance claims. They're going to be getting exercise, and they're, make time for that, to where they may not make time for that if they don't have this opportunity. So it's a very easy sell, because every HR wants to look great when they go to the board and say, hey, we have a gym that would like to partner with us, and this is going to give, some benefits, some healthy benefits to our employees. And the board is always like loving it. HR loves to present it because, she's taking care of everyone, which she's supposed to.
Brilliant. And I've looked up some stats here too. It reduces employee sick time, the healthier employees are. It reduces workplace injuries, the better in shape they are. There's a lot of benefits. So I would encourage people, that's a great example of, ask ChatGPT, what are the benefits of employees participating in an employee wellness program that includes fitness? It'll probably spit out a lot of actual data and research behind that you could bring with you. But there's a bunch of peer-reviewed research that's been done on this to support what Kristi's suggesting.
So too, Kyle, can I mention one more thing?
Yeah.
Which I do with people stuff. But what I'd like to say is, like, with these large corporations, they usually have, like, right at the beginning of the year, they have sometimes like a wellness fair. And so they will invite different people, like regarding nutrition and, things to do with wellness and health, to be a vendor. I didn't have to pay anything. So I would go to these fairs and find out when they were having them. I would have a booth. I would, at that point, eVolt wasn't quite out yet. I did have an FMS with me though. And what I did there is, my owner let me give out a year free membership. So at that fair, then I had raffle tickets, and, my Anytime Fitness booth set up. Do you want to win a free year gym membership? Enter the raffle. Well, I ended up walking away with like 200 leads, right? I had their name, I had their phone number, I had their email address. So basically, what I did with those leads, we did have one winner, but we came up with a promotion for everybody that did not win the year membership. And so then when I put them in the system and I went ahead and I did calls, hey, you're going to get, you just won is the verbiage that your front of house should use. You just won Anytime Fitness membership discount of this rate and, 2 free weeks of training. I always gave 2 free weeks of training.
Hey,
Group.
Kristi, real quick from John and Tracy. They said, how do you sign people up at the event? We have been in multiple events, and have they had any success in having them sign up?
I took the iPad and we had a rate that was set if they signed up on site. So if they signed up on site, it's lower, than if they come in later. So you want to snag those memberships right away.
And then I would assume, did you need either the corporation's Wi-Fi code, or you needed to bring a hotspot or something so you had internet for the iPad?
I mean, I have done, I've used my phone as a hotspot, but usually the company has given us a Wi-Fi password. It's been no problem because, they have Wi-Fi. So I just made sure that everything was set up prior to that. I would ask, hey, is your Wi-Fi open? Do I need a password? Because I'm going to be signing up people on site for a discount. And the HR will help you with that as well, or whoever's organizing that fair.
Perfect. And then I want to add a legal disclaimer here. It's something that Keepbooked is always being reminded of by corporate. A lot of laws have changed around how we can legally collect people's information and then call or text them. So for example, when we do digital marketing, there's a terms and conditions that they can read, and it talks about what we're going to do with their name, their phone number, their email, and that we will be calling and texting them and following up. And so a lot of this is new stuff. And so just be very cautious when you're collecting their contact information at any event or anywhere really. There's it's called the Personal Identifiable Information Act, and you can be charged $500 per sent text message if people didn't basically agree to be contacted. And so it's something to look into with how we capture their information. ChatGPT can write a terms and conditions like on a lead capture form. So it'll help you with that. But just be cautious. It's probably a small chance that you would ever get in trouble for this, but there are law firms out there looking for people who are texting without the correct information, if you will. I'm not trying to.
You can add that from the bottom of the raffle ticket.
Exactly. Yep. So just something to add in there. We don't want anyone to get in trouble with any of these ideas, but okay, perfect. We've got about 15 minutes left. Kristi, is there anything that I didn't ask or that you want to reiterate or articulate on? I think the biggest key is just to start these programs, to start trying, right? That would be my advice. But anything that we didn't touch on that you would want someone to know or type in, if anyone has questions, this is the time to ask those questions.
I would just say to all the owners out there, this is something that is a must. This is something you must do. If you want your business revenue to go bam, think it went from the gym that I was working at, went from 22,263, and it was to 114. So I ended up getting Club Purple, going from bankrupt to Club Purple.
awesome. And I can't agree more. I think that that the gyms like Crunch and Planet, they're becoming more and more competitive, and they have bigger and bigger ad budgets. We're seeing some crunches spend $10,000 to $15,000 a month just in digital marketing. And economically, that doesn't work for an Anytime Fitness, right? Our average member value or the amount of members we have, it just wouldn't justify that high of a spend. And so, although digital marketing is certainly still relevant and something we all need to do, I think that brings in roughly 60% of the leads. But like Kristi said, this is a really good way to bring in those other 40%. Referrals, we can't forget about referrals as well, but this is kind of a referral play even. And so I can't emphasize enough, just get started with this. It's okay to fail. You may go to one, and I've personally found some HR directors that they didn't care about fitness, right? They didn't want to talk about fitness, and that's okay. On to the next one, right? I think like Kristi had really good success with this. That might not be everyone's case, but don't be discouraged if someone tells you no or asks you to leave. Not everyone loves fitness like we all do. So just get started with this. I love your Running Man rewards, Kristi. For anyone that wants it, while she was talking, I just screenshot her Running Man rewards document, put it into ChatGPT, and it typed it all out in an editable form. And so I'll send that to Jason, and I'm sure he can share that with everyone on this call. And then I also had it write a terms and conditions to receive people's contact information that I can share with everyone, and you could use that as well. So we'll try to give you as many resources as we can to make this easier on everyone.
Question from John real quick. I'll put it on the screen real quick. Just to clarify, you set up a corporate discount. The business is for a month, and then you go in to sign up interested people room site.
Yeah, you can do like that's exactly what you want to do. You may not always be able to enter a business to sign up people on site because different businesses have rules that you can't sell things like within their working, environment. It depends on the company. I mean, with LexisNexis, they were a law firm. So, I mean, they're kind of, they sell legal software. So 2 lawyers. So that was completely different. Everybody else was open to it. Nobody else had a problem with it.
I would second what she said. Everyone that I've done, they haven't had an issue with me coming in. And I've sat in their break room for an entire day and signed people up while people take a break or take lunch. The health fair thing has been huge for us. I have tried to attend every if that's the only win you get, maybe you don't get a wellness program set up or some partnership, but you get to attend their health fair. That's a huge win, right?
Yeah.
And so, and then we've set up different programs too. Not everyone wants a wellness program. Some just want a simple discount for their staff, right? That's okay. That's a win too. I had an electric company that had about 200 employees, and they would pay $20 of any employee's membership that came to the gym 8 or more times a month. They paid that on an annual basis at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, all their employees that wanted to take advantage of that, they came in and got a print off of their usage. That was back before AF Mobile. And then they brought it in, and on their next paycheck, they got a refund from their company. So there's a bunch of different ways this can happen. And I think it's important to just be super creative. Start with what Kristi had talked about. See what kind of wellness program you can set up with them, and then work on what discount's going to work best for that corporation. And another thing, Kristi, you and I talked about this, but we didn't today. Not just corporations. It's important to remember every town that your gym is in has a ton of city employees, right? So the city administrator, if you will, is the president of your community or town employees. So that's police, fire. Depending on the size of your community, there's community development staff, there's accountants, there's a bunch. That's a great place to start too with a corporate wellness program.
Actually, Beth has been saying that she creates a flyer on the one page with their QR code, and then
Yes.
she places them in break rooms, locker rooms. She even said that, she
Awesome.
does schools are a gold
Yeah.
mine. She just said
They
Yes.
all schools are amazing. We had Springboro City schools. So, if you're going to do a school district, first you need to find out, you've got to gather your information. Who do you go to present this? Because if you want to offer it to a whole school district, or if you're just offering it to a school, you are still going to have to go through the school district. So you might as well just offer it to the whole district. Because if you're going to only offer it to an elementary school, in order to get permission, you're going to have to go through the Board of Education.
And there was another question from John earlier too. He just wanted to make sure that it's not a different discount at the event than the corporate discount already set in place.
What do you? I'm confused now. I don't know.
Kristi, he's asking, you had mentioned that when you go on site, you had a special discount if they signed up that day that you were on site. Is that discount you gave for someone to encourage someone to sign up on site? Is that different than the overall wellness program discount that you created for the company?
You want to create that sense of urgency. So when you're on site, you can do a month of free training. And if they come in, you can do 2 weeks of free training or whatever that you're willing to give. But I always gave group training. So it did not affect, my SGTs. It wasn't one-on-ones. It was group.
And this was different than what the corporate promotion was, correct? That discount code I think he was talking about.
Well, you want to try to make it a little bit more enticing for them to sign up right then. So if they sign up right then, you can offer this, today special. And then when you come in for the rest of the month, you're going to still receive a discount. So, if you sign up today, you get 4 free weeks of personal training. If you sign up after the event is over, you're going to get 2.
Okay.
No, Kristi, you mentioned this, and I just want to clarify for everyone. You wouldn't recommend giving away 2 or 4 weeks of one-on-one training. That would not be very cost effective. This is a group play only. I just feel I just want to get that out there. I wouldn't go out handing out a month of free one-on-one training.
Correct. So, I set it up to where I had, when I started getting an influx of people, I always had base burn and build in the morning, and I had base burn and build in the evening. So, and I had it going Monday through Thursday, and then I had a little bit less classes going on Friday, and then we offered, all 3 on Saturday.
Brilliant. And you said classes, but we all know you meant sessions. I won't pick on you.
Yeah. Each so,
Yeah.
Garbage. Session.
Perfect. Well, if there's any other questions, please type them now before Kristi steps off. But I just want to thank Kristi. This is your wealth of knowledge and all of your trial and error that you did throughout the years to figure this out is invaluable. I think and like you said, I can't emphasize enough. Every club needs to start doing this today, not tomorrow. This is and then my one note that I didn't cross out, you loosely said it, but I think it's important with the corporate wellness ones. You didn't try to work on 6 of these at the same time. You focused your energy on one at a time, built a relationship, right? Kind of focused. And then once that one was set up, then you moved on to a second one. But with the Running Man rewards, that's something that they could work on several at the same time and always should be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't have enough Running Man rewards, but you want to make sure with these larger corporations that you are really, really giving them a lot of attention because they can be with you for years. Mine never left.
Yeah.
They never left. That was it. And also too, once you get them, you have to take care of them. So not just the Running Man rewards, but also the corporate. So I gave them Christmas baskets. I gave them, just different things. It was important to stay in contact with the HR so that, hey, we're having a 6-week challenge. Will you put it in your newsletter from next month? and you want to not procrastinate and be like, hey, we're having a 6-week challenge. Can you notify your employees in a week? That doesn't work. Like, you need to give them planned out times to where that they can communicate with the employees, and you're going to have a better, outcome and effect as well. And of course, anybody can have my information. I like to talk to people.
Yeah, Jen, Tracy. I'll make sure to shoot over kindly Kristi's email with the follow-up information from here.
And I would just add, where I've seen people go wrong with this is they go around to companies, their businesses, and instantly it's like, hi, I'm Kyle from Anytime Fitness. Could you put my flyers on your pizza boxes? We got to remember, like, step one of every sales process is building rapport, right? So you may have to go a few times and build a relationship with these people over time before you even feel comfortable making an ask, or before you feel like it's the right situation. I just can't emphasize that enough. This is a relationship business. Build relationships, then ask for something in return.
Absolutely. So you want to go in, like, make friends with the owner, make friends with the manager. How long have you worked here? Well, I work here, like, and then you can go back in again if you don't feel comfortable then, at that particular point. But all the places, like, of course I wanted a discount too. Like, I wanted a discount at the nail salon. I didn't get mine for free. I didn't get mine for free. So I want you to know that. So when I was going around doing this as a manager, I wasn't like, you want to make sure your managers aren't like, hey, do I get mine for free? Like, limit and give rules to the manager on what they're allowed to do. But I didn't get mine for free. I got the same discount as the members did. I wish I got it.
Very good advice there, though, because a manager could get kind of greedy with this and go seek deals that benefited just themselves, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is a big no-no. I mean, we had a jewelry store. Can you imagine?
Yes.
That and the nails. Right.
All right. Well, respect for everyone's time. Thanks for everyone who attended. Jason, I do like your platform here, but I gotta be honest, it's hard not to see the other faces. Yeah. I have no idea who's watching, so it's a little nerve-wracking.
Well, thanks for everyone in the chat for joining. I'll send over an email with the video and the presentation and share Kyle and Kristi's contact information. And they'd love to be able to help you out with this initiative. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll talk soon, Mastermind team.